Hello, broadcasters. Welcome to episode 136 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name is Geige, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back. Different location today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a good week. We had Dana on board last week, but it's good to have you back. For anyone new here, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard. We do these town halls every single week, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We do them for a few reasons. One is to stay in tune with you guys, go through the same flow you guys do when you do your own shows. Two is to answer any of your questions. So if you have anything you'd like us to touch on tonight, feel free to leave it in the chat. We'll do our best to address it. And then third, I always make sure I mention the three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional stream. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. See lots of people in the chat tonight. Nice to see all of you here. Dave says, looking forward to SY's level up. Thanks, Dave. Absolutely. That was actually one of the banners for tonight, as we do have on the 26th an exciting summit coming up with we actually have Gary Vee as the keynote speaker, who's going to be talking about all kinds of awesome live streaming strategies and how to grow your brand in general with content. We'll also be making some fun feature releases and announcements. So be sure to check that out. We actually have a banner. If you just go to StreamYard.com, we actually have a banner on the website, so you can grab the link there. And if there's any other future summits you guys have ideas for, do let us know. We'd love to hear about them. Before I forget, we've got our shows to mention. We got the StreamYard Spotlight first Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is a show highlighting all of your guys' shows. So if you'd like to be featured, reach out to Dana. She'd love to have you on. We also have the YouTube channel reviews with Dee and Daniel. It's their show's the second Saturday, and then we have live stream reviews with Christian the first and third Saturday. So if you'd like to get another opinion on your YouTube channel or the live streams themselves, definitely be sure to check that out. And we've got Live Stream Impact with Julie the second Friday of every month at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then for all your other questions, we do the open office with Julie and Mel 11 a.m. Eastern Tuesday, first and third week in the Facebook community group. We have a good fun fact for today. So feel free to let us know what the answer is for you guys. It's always fun seeing. Our fun fact was very first pet. What was your first pet, Dan?
Man, this one's so boring for me. So growing up, we never really had many pets. Like I never had a dog or a cat or anything. We just weren't pet people. We had a few fish for a little while, and I'm talking the little, not like a big goldfish, like the little ones. Sammy and Joey were our two fish. And then we had a few later on, but we didn't have a tank for too long. So mine's kind of boring. Two small fish. How about you?
My very first pet was, I am sure like many people, was I guess technically it was probably tied. I think when I was born, we had a dog and a cat. We had a German Shepherd and a Siamese cat, Chester and Ruger. Quite the duo.
Quite the team.
Yeah.
Cool. Not as exciting as Sammy and Joey, though.
Yeah, definitely not. Nazar says, looking forward to the summit. When are we getting a sneak peek on what will be covered? So the summit will be on the 26th, and the show up at the summit. That's when the big announcement will happen. Tristan says the palm tree is back. Yes, Dan brought it back with him to Comox.
Yeah, I'm visiting my family right now, and actually I'll be here for a few weeks. So yeah, I've got the palm tree. My dad actually fixed it up. So if you guys noticed, in the place I was before, it was like always leaning against the wall or leaning against the bookshelf. That's just because the bottom of it broke. So my dad actually fixed the stem, and now it's standing up nicely. But yeah, I figured I had to have it in the background.
Hey, Tangerine, nice to see you here. Let's see if we have any funny pets. John had a Cocker Spaniel named Tina. Very cool. Awesome. Another subject we had for tonight was Twitter Live. So this has been asked about for a long time. So there's obviously the announcement that Periscope was getting sunset, and the things are in place now. The integration is being developed, and within the next 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see the. Is that right, Dan? I might be misquoting the weeks.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Somewhere in there, it'll be fully transitioned to Twitter Live, so you'll directly connect on Twitter. So hopefully that'll be a welcome change for. I mean, you can still connect with it through Periscope in the meantime, but I know people wanted a formal transition.
I'm looking forward to, or are really hoping, that they they start shipping some cool features too, like scheduling and stuff like that. That'd be awesome to see on Twitter Live.
Yeah. Twitter's one of my favorite social platforms too, I think, or at least they're all obviously awesome, but it has a very cool.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's unique. It has its place for sure. There's like very little redundancy compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
This is a good question for you, Dan. What are the accessibility features on StreamYard that can help blind streamers?
Cool. So accessibility wise, we tried to make the site as accessible as physically possible. Now, it's never perfect. Like it's something we're always working on. But right from the start, we tried to make it where you can access essentially all of it. Like there's very few things we know of that are unusable for blind users. I'm sure they could be better though, like I said. So if you do find areas that you think could be better, or like just we're always open for feedback on that side of things. But we do have several blind users using StreamYard, and as far as I know, it's very like we test it with screen readers ourselves when we're developing stuff. So we've always got that in mind.
But yeah, if anything's missing, definitely let us know. We'd love to make it as accessible as we possibly can. Oscar says, Geige, what mic do you use? I'm using a Blue Yeti, Oscar, but I wouldn't. My setup for sound is not ideal right now. I'm kind of in like the corner of a room. I need to improve it. So I'm sure you can sound better with a Yeti than I probably sound.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good to me.
Cool. Lots of different ones. Some hamsters. Some lizards, definitely the full spectrum of animals.
Cool.
Meek says, I'm a JavaScript/Node full stack developer. Are you hiring? We are hiring for lots of different roles, Meek. So feel free to, if you go to hoppin.com/careers, you'll see some job postings there. Joshua says, any suggestions on how to implement a Stream Deck with StreamYard? So there's not a super simple way to do it now, Joshua. We do plan on adding hotkeys, and once we have hotkeys, it'll be much easier to use things like the Stream Deck with StreamYard. Any thoughts on that, Dan? In the meantime, I guess it's pretty difficult, right?
It's tough. I've heard of people pulling it off. Like I think it's possible, but it's very challenging. So it's probably best to wait on the hotkeys. But yeah, you should be able to use both the hotkeys and Stream Deck with hotkeys once we have that ready.
Absolutely. So one question asking about if you can make videos loop on StreamYard. Here it is from Emerson. Right now there is no way to make them loop. I mean, you could obviously upload a video, make a video that loops and upload it. I'd be curious, Emerson, is it just like maybe like a pause screen where it's like you're like, I'm going to be back soon and you want something to loop? I'd be curious the use case, like, because one alternative would be to just use a GIF. If you don't need audio in it, to use a GIF to loop, but let us know. I'd be curious the use case.
Yeah, I guess it's also possible to have some kind of video that is just a looping video inside of it. Now you'd obviously have to make that, but it could be an option as well. Very, very curious what the use case is.
Nizar says, I've been on a while, so apologies if this was covered. Are there any plans to have captions for viewers like they do with Zoom? That's a good question. We would definitely like to improve that. I'd be curious. You said viewers, so I assume you mean on. So one reason why we don't have it now is many of the platforms like LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, they have their own version of captions, so it could be a bit distracting or not look very good if you have captions on top of the captions. So just would be good to confirm if that is actually what you mean, or if you're looking for captions in the studio itself. Either way, we'd like to improve support for that, because there are other destinations people go without captions, or maybe you don't care at all and just want captions burned in regardless, but let us know.
Cool.
Let's see. Mark says, watching from Manila. Very cool. Any plans to increase the GIF size for overlays and backgrounds? Thanks. We did increase it a while back, right, Dan? Do you recall what the current limit is?
Videos.
With videos?
I don't think GIFs. I think GIFs are 3 megabytes right now. Would be interested if there's like a certain size you have in mind. And I assume you're talking about file size, not necessarily like dimensions or something. Maybe just let us know what size you're looking for. But yeah, we did increase video clips quite a while back.
But yeah, we're open to it, Mark. Let us know more details. NLT on W says, how is your summer going? It's been a good summer, enjoying the summer town halls. Haven't gotten out too much, but it's been good. What about your guys's? Other one we wanted to mention in case you guys missed it. Obviously, pre-recorded live streaming's out now. So if any new feedback you guys have or suggestions or thoughts on it, do let us know. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we added the ability to upload videos and stream them out at a later date, which is good if you can't book a guest or you just can't happen to be there live. But again, you don't want to trick viewers or make them think it's live when it's not. And some of the platforms have specific policies around it, so you'll want to check those out.
Cool. And of course, the other popular use case is just super high stakes. So you want to stream out a really high stakes stream. You can do this stream as a record only broadcast in advance and then stream it out later at the time you want to go live. I find that's pretty common use case for us.
Absolutely.
Definitely not great for our style of town hall show.
Yeah,
that would be weird.
It would be a bit odd. Clarine says, question, are you working on having the name block stackable? Sometimes the horizontal layout takes up too much space.
Interesting.
Do you have any thoughts on that one, Dan?
So that, just to make sure, well, I guess I'll ask you if you're thinking the same way, like the name tags that show up here to make those when they extend the full width to then wrap to the next line. Is that what you think she's asking?
I'm not 100% sure. So if you could confirm, Clarine, let us know.
Yeah. Because right now when it gets to the, like when it fills up this full width, we'll get like the 3 dots on this side, the 3 dots at the end. And that's what I'm wondering is like, do you want that to wrap to the next level or are we totally off here?
Maybe it's the idea too of if you have like Twitter handle or maybe a subtitle that you want to have in another space. If that's what you mean, Clarine, that's definitely something we're open to for sure.
Cool.
Eve said, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I love the drag and drop. One suggestion, did you consider keeping 2 columns, but one for the overlays and the other one strictly for videos? It would keep the list shorter and more practical. I think we did consider it. We talked to quite a few people. Unfortunately, it was like pretty split as far as what people preferred. Who knows? Maybe at some point we'll give the option to switch from one to the other. Not your suggestion though. That's a new one as far as one just for overlays and one for videos. We do want to add more flexibility in general for that, Eves, because I'm guessing part of the reason for that is maybe you're going from like overlay to video and you don't want to scroll up and down, back and forth. Which absolutely we want to make that as easy as possible. So we're continuing to explore ways that we can make things even easier and combine things like banners and comments and brands to make it where you're not having to switch between different tabs. But again, it's very exploratory, so it'll take time to figure out what makes the most sense and keeps everyone happy. But we definitely want to make it make your run of show as easy as we possibly can. Anita says, question, can we create an event on Hopin first and upgrade later? Yeah, Hopin actually launched a freemium or a free version of the product, Anita. So you can actually host events with up to 100 people totally free, which is like, especially if you're trying to do a webinar or something like that's pretty high number of participants you can have totally for free. So yeah, absolutely. All right. Other one we wanted to ask you guys tonight. We haven't talked about this in a long time, but so I guess to start, curious how many of you are even using brand folders to begin with. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the brand section, you actually have the ability to create new brands. So like say if you have multiple shows, that's sort of a nice way to organize different shows. Curious how many of you guys are using that feature. And if you are, how many different brand folders? And I'm curious, like if they, sort of asking a lot of questions at once, but how many you have in general and if they correspond to individual shows? Like, do any of you use them in a way where it's like, hey, I actually switch between brands in the middle of my show, or is it always one brand per show? Curious to learn how you guys are using those.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely one of those like hidden features that a lot of people don't discover until someone mentions it to them, I find. Yeah,
I'm also at the that's definitely true, but I'm also surprised for how hidden it is, like how heavily you like how important it is to some people. So it is cool that some people definitely really seem to like it.
Yeah.
Clement says 5 so far. Awesome. Chris uses 3. Looks like quite a few 3s in the chat for all of you. For all of you guys, I'm curious if those are they for specific shows, or are you using them out for any reason outside of to organize the individual shows? Sounds like 3, 4, 5, all very, very popular. Appreciate the feedback.
Cool.
Sounds like deal.
For anyone using like multiple brands per show, I'm especially curious. Why is it just because of the limit of how many assets you can put in there? Is there like some kind of organization scheme? Like the first part of a show, you use one brand. The second part, you use another brand. Just anything there is super useful.
Cool. Janice uses many brands per show. I'd be super curious, Janice, to learn more about how you're using those per show. Is it like, is it a separate brand for your guests that you're hosting? Would love to learn more about your use case. Coylin says use 5 brand folders, some for different types of slots in the show. So there's like a particular segment, it sounds like. Cool. Definitely seems like it's heavily used. Lots of brand folder users in the chat. Artie says can't use foreign fonts. So we do support most fonts, Artie. So if you email contact@streamyard.com or reach out to us in chat, we'll certainly look into adding any fonts we're missing. So we do want to support as many as we possibly can.
Yep.
Sounds like some people are even hitting the limit. Michael has 10 brand folders, all for different shows and different game shows, and split the brands for the video limits to scroll through. Cool.
So I assume, Michael, it's just like you don't want that section to get too big, so you basically split it up so you have 2 brands and each one has like 10 videos in it. Is that fair?
Sounds like Dave has maxed out as well. Hopefully the upcoming Teams feature will solve that one for you, Dave.
Cool.
All right, this is useful. I'll have to go back through these. Thanks for sharing your guys' use cases. Super cool to see these. Our revenue sounds like separate brands per guest. That's an interesting one. All right, other thing we wanted to touch on tonight is how many of you stream just audio only. I've noticed it's a bit more common, it seems, on YouTube, but curious, as an example, I don't actually know what picture I have. I think it's a popcorn maybe. Yeah, it's a popcorn. Curious how many of you don't use your webcam while streaming. How many of you are just using the avatar images or just have a full screen image up the whole time? Part of the reason I ask is I know some people, they just don't want their webcam on, right? So we're curious how many of you do stream like that, and if there's anything we could do to basically make streams more engaging for those of you that don't have the web camera on, beyond obviously the features that we already have.
Cool.
Dan says, "Oh, I just joined. Did you launch Teams? Teams is not out yet, but it is coming very, very soon. We'll mention in a later stream. We'll ask for some people to. I'll have more info in a later stream, but it's coming soon. We do have one question related to not our specific Teams feature, but someone's else that we'll get to in a second here. My Island says, can we switch items in brands and duplicate brands? So you can duplicate brands, right, Dan?
No, just banner folders.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. You can't duplicate brands yet. Likely we'll make that easier.
Yeah.
And you can't like move items from brand to brand either, right, Dan?
Not right now. No.
Okay.
Yeah, would love to add some more stuff around there eventually, though.
Absolutely. Janice says, why don't they transfer over to new shows? If you're referring to brands, Janice, they definitely should transfer over to new shows, but let me know if I'm misunderstanding the question. Josh says, I use audio only when I'm in a producer role and want to talk to the host if needed, but not be on screen. That totally makes sense.
Cool.
All right. Anita says, please give overlay stocks more. I assume you just mean more overlays in general, Anita?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
more stock, like
built-in.
More built-in ones. Yeah, we definitely like to do that, especially with even the videos too. We know many people use that countdown timer, so it'd be great for us to add more where you had the flexibility to choose between ones that might be more on brand for you. All right, Dan, should we go ahead and do the giveaway for tonight?
Cool, let's do it.
All right, is it already? I'll wait a sec for you to get it up.
Cool, just a sec. Got a lot of tabs.
Will the previous ones in the chat still? Oh yeah, okay, we're still good. So yeah, for anyone new here, we do these not the town halls. We do these giveaways every single week. So if you type in hashtag the yard in the chat, you'll be eligible to win. And tonight we'll give away a StreamYard T-shirt, like the black T-shirt with the white text, and Puddles the StreamYard duck. I think I've got a picture of. We'll give away the plush duck. So. Get your entries in.
Love that picture.
Yeah, it's a good photo. Gizzard Gary says it would be nice to have certain things that can be shared among all the brands. It's a good suggestion, Gary. I'd be curious. I could guess how you might be using it, but I'd be curious what types of things you do with that. Like I assume maybe things like a particular logo across all the brands. So if you change it in one place, it changes across all of them. But any other details you have there, would love to hear about it.
Yeah, or even like, is it the color you want to share? Like certain settings. I guess we only really have one setting, but like the theme and just anything like that, or is it just sharing some assets so you have to upload them into one place? If you delete it, would you want it to be deleted in one place, or is it more of like it's just kind of been duplicated across multiple? I know it's a lot of questions.
Paul says, like Twitch, would be nice to be able to edit a custom dashboard and have access to the features you use all the time and remove the features you don't from view, including removing the actual video and only having buttons. That's a cool suggestion, Paul. I'll have to check out. I assume you're talking about like the Twitch studio. I'll have to check that out.
Cool. Man, removing the video, that would be interesting.
Tim says, I want a cushion, and it never arrived on the island of Tenerife. So Tim, I think Dana's watching live. Dana will reach out to you to confirm your address and ship another one if it didn't make it.
Yeah, I feel like it should ship there. I don't know. I do. I mean, postage is definitely slow right now. So, and I don't know if on an island it's pretty bad, but no.
We don't have I don't think tracking is with the shipping. So who knows? Maybe it got lost in the mail. But we'll send another one either way, and then you'll get two if the first one eventually comes.
Cool. All right, shall we do this?
Yeah, let's go ahead and run it.
Okay. Good luck, everyone.
Congrats, Gary. You just won the StreamYard T-shirt and the Puddles duck. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Dana will reach out to you for your info so we can get that shipped your way. Congrats.
Awesome. Congrats.
Cool. It sounds like there's quite a few people that would like a centralized area for the branding. Like Nazar, have the choice to delete in one or all areas for the brand. Very cool. Sounds like same with Marley. Nice to have a logo library that's shared between the brands. I'd be curious, Marley, would it just be just the logos, or would you also like it for things like the video clips, and like would it be nice to have the option for all of them?
Cool. I'd also be curious how many logos you have. And are you changing them, or is it like, you uploaded 4 and you just don't want to have to upload them in all these different places?
Hey, Rabbit, it was nice talking to you as well. We've been doing customer interviews lately, so Rabbit was kind enough to take a call. Let's see what else we have. So another question we had for you guys tonight was, how many of you are using Canva Teams? So I know Canva is a super popular tool for creating overlays and stuff. I think quite a few of you actually use it. I'm curious if those of you using it are using the Teams feature of it, where you can have multiple people on it in different roles. And if you are using it, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Curious to learn more about that.
Cool.
Hopefully quite a few
I'd say, or if you even knew you could have multiple people on it.
Yeah, any info. If you also had no idea that they had it, that'd be good to know too. Lots of congrats in the chat for Gary. Awesome. All right. Eves uses Canva all the time. Tawana uses Canva Teams. Curious, Tawana, with how many people you're using it with and what the main benefit you get is. Is it mostly just like setting up the shared assets, having different permissions and control? Curious what you like about the Teams features.
Cool.
NLTMW uses Affinity products instead of Canva. Cool. I'm not actually you know what affinity products are, Dan?
No.
I'll have to check that out. Hey, Chasing, glad you caught us live. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Champrick says, still waiting for the mug and pillow. Dana, if you're in the chat, let's also reach out to Champricks. Gary says, I appreciate the price of teams with Canva. I'm curious, Gary, what you mean by that? Like, do you like the idea of like how they price it or the particular price point that it's at? Would love to learn more from you on that. Farrah says, yes, 3 people using Canva Teams for creativity and backgrounds and overlays for the guest. Awesome.
Cool.
Affinity's like Adobe products, but way cheaper. Good to know. We'll have to check them out. Michael's a Pixlr user. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of great options. Just curious specifically on the Teams feature of Canva because it is similar in some ways to what we'll be doing with StreamYard Teams. Coral says, using Canva once again after taking a break from it for other programs, went back as it was much faster to create my images and graphics to make shorts and fast videos on the run. Cool that you're using it for videos too. That was actually one of my final questions. Maybe I'll grab a couple more here because I'm curious. Jamie says, I love the Teams feature in Canva because one price gets many folks to help me with promos. Awesome. I guess Jamie, maybe you're just referring to that it comes with, like the initial one comes with a bunch of seats. I think after that you do have to pay for additional individuals, but it does come with quite a few.
Yeah, I'd be interested how many people you have on your account as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's is it 5 you have to start paying?
I think the first 5 are free, and then you have to, or not free, but on what's Canva, $12.99 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever the first plan is comes with 5.
Cool.
All right. On the mention of video, that was actually another question we had for you guys. Not too much time here, but maybe we can get a couple answers. Was a video editor. What kind of stuff would you need in a video editor? Curious if it's basic, like something super basic where on StreamYard, if you just had the option to crop the beginning and the end, or if you'd want something more sophisticated where you could actually add things on top of it. Curious what level of sophistication you need from a video editor, and if it's the type of thing where you're happy with your current video editor and you rather keep using that, or if a basic thing in StreamYard would actually be useful.
Cool. And if you do have an existing one, also curious what you use.
Absolutely. Tristan says, love you're considering this. We edit post-production for clients. I'm guessing your type of editing is pretty sophisticated, Tristan, so maybe you'd want something more advanced, but if not, certainly let us know. Marl says, FYI, the link says the event has ended. It definitely shouldn't. If you click something in chat, Merrill's, if you go to StreamYard.com, the banner on the website itself should definitely be live.
Hopefully. If not, we'll have to look into it.
If not, we'll definitely have to look into it. All right, let's see if we have time for maybe one more. John says, would make use of cropping and a volume control editor. Otherwise, would use Wondershare. Good to know.
Cool. Volume control, like per person, John? Or is this like just a total, like turn down the volume of everyone?
Let us know. Marshall, I'm happy, assuming I'm understanding you correctly, I'm happy to say you can reorder clips now. So in the video clip section, you can now reorder them to any order you want. You can just drag and drop them. Thanks for the clarification. To one of 3 people using it regularly like the ability to collaborate, centralized storage without having to rely on file uploads. Super efficient. Awesome. Cool. Super good to know. All right, I'll definitely go through the feedback on the editor and all of this afterwards. Thank you guys so much for the feedback there. It's super useful for Dan and I. This was episode 136 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week at the same time.
Awesome. See you next week, everyone.